thatmovieguyUK.
As some of you know, as some of you might know, Korine is one of those directors that I purely admire. His style, his kind of structural films have always inspired me, from his films such as Trash Humpers, Mr. Lonely, Spring Breakers, Gomo, Julian Donkey Boy. His art, his books, everything about Korine has inspired me. I must say I came across Korine purely by chance by watching Spring Breakers in 2012, purely by a lot of hatred towards this film, but I did find it to become one of the most influential films of the 21st century in my opinion, and it is one of those films that really does portray 21st century life in the most categorical way possible, and I admire Korine's artistry for that. Obviously with The Beach Bum, I am very excited for this, and I couldn't believe that we were actually going to see it. Obviously, as I mentioned during Venice prep, I was hoping that it was going to turn up, and it didn't. And obviously the feedback from the guys at Venice, as they saw it before the programming came out, they said that McConaughey's performance was Oscar worthy. And we're here to talk about it. The Beach Bum is the story of Moondog. He is a free spirit, a poet, a lover of drugs, loves alcohol, and is living the carefree life in the Florida Keys. He is currently procrastinating a lot while trying to write his next book, and a turbulent time ends with him going to court and trying to rebuild his life with a very interesting Korine twist is the best way we can describe this. While I would say The Beach Bum is the visual sibling to Spring Breakers, it is very stylistic, it is very in the vein of that classic film, but its context and its very odd, un-Korine way of presenting a story to us in the most unabstract way is a very opposite way that I would expect it from Korine. But saying this, The Beach Bum is a very good film. I never expected this film to be as funny as it was. I thought it was a laugh a minute, and this continuous engrossing story and just the randomness that beholds itself within its film is just utterly mesmeric, and I just adored this element of it. Like I said, I just cannot believe that this was more of an outright comedy than what you would expect. A lot of Korine's films have a lot of dry humour, but not necessarily all the time. It would be blasphemous to say that this was a good entry-level Korine film. I must say, if you wanted to go into Harmony Korine, go into the films like Gomo, go into Trash Humpers, go into, well, anything else that he's ever made, because that's the way that you'll fully understand him as a director and as an artist. But The Beach Bum is just one of these easygoing movies, just like the spirit of Moondog, and it's just a very different shape for Korine, and I love that. With its fast pacing, its mellow tones, and its rich characters, Korine really teaches us not to take life too seriously. And I think that is the main message that we get from this film. Obviously, Korine always says that he doesn't always have messages, he just wants to tell stories. But for me personally, I really just got this message a lot more than normal from him. And I think it was the message that I needed right now in my life, because things are very busy, very sporadic, and I just need to take my time and enjoy the better things in life. And Moondog is the epitome of this. Moondog's journey is obviously the focal point of this film, but the characters that we come across, the scenery that we see, it is a mass amalgamation of Korine's existence. Korine knows these kinds of people, and he's learned a lot about art and life through them. And I think that this is a very powerful homage to them also. It is to the people of the Florida Keys and to the people that he's come across everywhere. He's obviously from Nashville, and you can see the Nashville experience from films like Trash Humpers. You just understand that Korine is a people person, and once you're in his inner circle, you will know that you're going to impact him in a very artistic or personal way at some point in time. Matthew McConaughey was born to play Moondog, and I must say that we know that, you know, this guy plays freaking bongos in the nude and takes a lot of drugs. We know this in real life, and I think McConaughey channels everything about himself into Moondog, and he's learned, like I said, a lot from the people in Korine's life. I think I read an article once about a similar kind of character that Moondog is based on from Korine, and you can feel this connection. He always wore a captain's hat and stuff like that, and I really can't remember his name or anything like that, but you can feel like this inner channeling of like two kindred spirits coming into one and creating Moondog. Is it Oscar worthy or anything like that? Of course it's not, but at the same time it is probably one of Korine's most memorable characters, along with your James Franco's or your Diego Luna's. He's iconic in this film, and I adored him for it. With other characters like Snoop Dogg, obviously it's just Snoop Dogg in a movie, and his name Lingerie, I liked the character, but it wasn't necessarily anything I really needed. Isla Fisher as his wife Mimi, I think that she really was the inspiration to Moondog to become who he was, really. But did he push his luck or anything like that? Yes, he does. But Isla Fisher really soaked into the Korine atmosphere, I think, and I think that's what most actors do. The two most notable supporting roles, really, for me, were Jonah Hill and Zac Efron. I think that it was a very good southern accent from Jonah Hill, and I really just dug the character a lot more. And with Zac Efron as well, I think he's picking some very interesting roles now, and his character's so energetic, and I think that he is a very crucial element to Moondog's rediscovery of himself and the rediscovery of his work. I forgot to mention the poetry in this movie is pretty bad, and it's come from Korine, and I don't normally bash this guy, but I just didn't like the poetry at all. And also I couldn't forget to talk about Martin Lawrence. This is like his first movie in quite some time, and the whole concept of the boat tours, the cocaine addicted parrot that he had, loved it. I would love to see like a Martin Lawrence spin-off kind of movie. I just adored his character. The Beach Bum is, you're gonna have a good time. And you're not necessarily going to fall head over heels for Harmony Korine, potentially, but it has reignited my passion for maybe rewatching Korine movies and just exploring the guy even more, because he is really one of the most interesting filmmakers that we have today. So that is my review for The Beach Bum, and I hope you enjoyed it. I had a really good time watching it, and I had a really good time talking about it, because I never really thought I'd get to review a Harmony Korine movie on this channel, and that has made me pretty happy today. Obviously, if you want to follow me on any form of social media or want to contact me in any form of way, all my details are below here. And obviously, as we say on this channel, diolch, danke, obrigado, merci beaucoup, arigato, dankeschön, bitteschön, all the shuns, and obviously, never change.